Hey, everybody. Good evening, and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Art Chat Daddy Sims, and I am glad to be here with you guys on a wonderful Wednesday evening here in the Chicagoland area. Baby, it is hot. It is like July hot here in Chicago, but we are mustering through. We are now on day number 73 of our shelter in place that has been going on day number 73. Can you guys believe it? I'm just like, oh my God. Tonight we have a lot to talk about. I have a fabulous guest co-host who's here with us tonight. The woman does it all. She has everything going for her. She's a socialite. She's a chef. She's a cannabis infusion educator. Hello. Amongst other things, she is my good friend Takana Young. We call her Chef Takana. And good evening, Chef. How are you?
Good evening, my love. How are you?
I'm fabulous, honey. I de-shepard. You see, I'm snatched back again. Yes,
Yes,
yes.
you're looking
I'm
clean and fine,
thank,
honey. Clean and
thank you.
fine.
Thank you, honey. I have a lot of things coming up this weekend, interviews and meetings I have to do globally. And I was like,
Absolutely.
honey, I can't look like Baba Black Sheep too much longer. I cannot. I cannot be
Listen,
running around looking like Baba Black Sheep. I'm
you was tired
sorry.
of looking like a disciple in the Bible, huh? Hey,
Baby, and
clean here.
I'm so worried about black men in today's society, and with all that on my face and people
Yeah,
not knowing it's me, and I got that mask on, honey. I got to get back to snatch. So
yeah.
I'm
Oh my
back
God.
snatched. So to kind of tell everybody about yourself, where you're from, and then let's get into tonight's show. I'm glad you're here.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you again. This is not my first time with
No, no,
you.
yes.
We ate a little food, a little soiree we
We
had at the
sure, yeah,
radio station.
yes,
Yes.
we did.
So
Yes, thank you.
For those of you all that I am just having the wonderful opportunity of meeting, my name is Takana Young. I am Chef Takana of Takana's Kitchen. I began Takana's Kitchen maybe 10 to 12 years ago, kind of roughly, based on the fact that I was so annoyed with the presentation of soul food in the city of Chicago that was killing us and pushing this envelope of high blood pressure and diabetes and extra and it's this and this and this. And I walked in a restaurant and there was some lard that he had on some short ribs floating, and I said, ooh, there's something that needs to happen here. And so that really, really encouraged me to do something that was in me. My whole family, all of the women in my family on both sides are women of service, and they are really, really just good with their hands. And I feel like, you know what? We as a people need to stop trying to run from our gifts. You know what I'm saying? We working,
Right,
we
right.
interviewing for jobs and stuff and going to get all these degrees to do all of these beautiful things. But if you do what is in you, you'll never ever want for money ever again, because you're
That's
gonna
right.
be doing what you're anointed to do.
That's right.
And
That's
so
right.
I
That's
began
right.
doing makeup and nails when I was in high school, and actually nails paid off my college tuition because I was like determined not to get a loan, because you already know what happens with that. So I continued to do that, and I actually retired from doing that in 2004. I left Chicago and moved to Texas, and that is where I birthed my baby. My baby was Takana's Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And I started with a few little items, just, giving it to staff, just, hey, let's eat and blah, blah, blah. And fell in love with it so much that it became something that I could do in my sleep, that I enjoy, that I hear music when I'm in the kitchen. And it's just amazing. So that's who
Mm-hmm.
I am. And I am continuing on this journey to do what I'm
Well,
here to do.
I know, and here's the deal: your food is absolutely extraordinary. It is
Thank
just,
you.
and look, your food is not only tasty, but it's beautiful. And that's the
Oh,
one
thank
thing,
you.
everybody's out here saying that they're a chef and everybody, but I'm like, if your food look a hot, nasty mess, what make you think I'm gonna eat your food? Your food
Well,
has, it's got to be appealing to me
Well, we
to want
eat
to
with
eat it.
our eyes. We eat with our
Right.
eyes. And
Yeah.
so one of the things, I don't care how good it tastes. Let me tell you something that I learned. My mother is a teaching chef. She taught at Washburn, and she in Indiana, and blah blah blah. I never sat under my mom's tutelage as far as cooking, but my
Mm-hmm.
mother went to school all those years. She's taught all those people how to become chefs. And so when I started going down the same path, I said, "Hey, do I need to go to classes? Do I need to do?" She said, "Your food tastes better than all that pretty stuff we over there showing them how to plate." So no,
Mm-hmm.
so I know that people eat with their eyes, but don't be just fooled by how pretty it is. The taste matters. You know
Right.
what I'm
It
saying? It
does. It
matters.
does.
It
It
matters.
does.
So
It
I'm a
does.
big proponent of both of those things.
Okay, well, very good. I'm excited to have you here tonight. We have a lot that we're going to talk about. We're going to do the top news and entertainment stories of the day, and
Okay.
then Takana at about 7:30 ish. You and I are going to shift gears just a little bit, and we're going to talk about the dramas, dilemmas, and
Yeah.
situations. Not situations,
Situation.
but
Situation.
look, baby, situations situations
Right.
that COVID has brought on us. And you're
Yeah.
absolutely right. There have been a couple of weird little dynamics I've had since, COVID. And so we'll talk about all of that. And
Okay.
then Chef Takana at 8 o'clock, we're gonna talk about cannabis,
Yes.
food,
Yes.
infusing the two,
Mm-hmm.
and marketing cannabis products.
Absolutely. Yes.
Girl, I can't wait. So listen,
Yeah.
set that up for us. Tell us who's coming on tonight to talk to us and all of that about that,
So
because that's exciting.
a very dear friend of mine and a business partner, someone that I met actually a few years ago when I started traveling down this avenue um, of cannabis and trying to learn it. So just a real quick backstory of it. Oh, I see some beautiful people that are joining in. My midwife. Listen, a few years ago when I moved back to Chicago, I was dealing with lupus. I had been diagnosed with lupus, rheumatoid
Mhm.
arthritis, and Raynaud's syndrome. And so I'm certain that there's some of those individuals that are on here. You understand that means you're on a lot of medications. That means you're on a lot of those things that are trying to help regulate your system and stop the progression of that particular disease, right? So
Mhm.
for me, I know that everything that goes on with you health wise starts in your gut. And so I was introduced to cannabis 6 years ago, and I had never smoked before. I was 40 years old, had never smoked. I was that girl that said, that's not a God. That's not what the word, and just not understanding. So for
Mhm.
me, I'm about, if you want to talk to me about something, I'm not just going to take your information. I'm going to delve into it. I'm going to get some education on it. I'm going to learn. Not only
Right.
am I going to learn, I'm going to learn it to a place where I can teach it because that's who I
Mhm.
am as an
Mhm.
educator. So I started understanding what cannabis can do, how it can impact you. And as of today, I can still
Mhm.
say I've been off all meds, all synthetic medication for 6 years. I have no lupus syndrome, no symptoms, no RA symptoms, no Raynaud's symptoms. Yes, the weather does up and down, and that sometimes impacts us when we have
Right.
those ailments. I
Right.
haven't had that. And a lot
Mhm.
of it because of the education that I received, learning more about cannabis and how it could benefit us as a person and to get off the synthetic drugs. And
Mhm.
then I met this brother named Berwin Tompkins. And Berwin Tompkins was teaching
Yeah.
classes.
Mhm.
I'm a firm believer of everything you need will come to you right on time, right?
Right.
So I
Right.
ended up
Yeah.
meeting someone that not only was in the business of cannabis prior to Illinois going legal, because he had been legalized in Vegas years
Mhm.
ago, but
Mhm.
he taught me how to infuse my food. Once you infuse your food, you don't even have to take the meds, you can wean off. And of course, I listened, I learned. I went back to my rheumatologist maybe 4 years ago, and he said, "Well, I guess this is a divorce because we won't see each other again." And
Mhm.
there's no need for me to continue to see you. Thank you, Booker T. I appreciate you. I heard you. I saw that.
Mhm.
We won't have to see each other again because you don't have anything that's needing for me to see you. And I'm like, well, I bid you good adieu. You
Mhm.
and your
Mhm.
medication.
Right. Right, right. Oh no, I agree with you 100%, my
Yeah.
friend. This whole global pandemic has taught me a lot. I have decided that this time around, I will be taking control of everything. The
Absolutely.
control of my career, the
Yeah.
control of my health, the control of my mindset. And you're absolutely right. Now, I'm interested to learn more about cannabis. I know what you've told me and how it has done, a lot for you.
Yeah.
The thing is that you were one of those holy rollers that was like, oh, y'all smoking weed, oh, y'all going to hell, and I can't believe y'all smoking weed, and oh God, and all of that. And so now you sitting here talking about honey cannabis. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. What mother? Look, look, let me clutch my pearls. Let me
Yes,
clutch it.
yes.
I'm shocked that you would even, you
Yeah.
going down this road. So I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to the conversation at 8 o'clock. Okay.
Absolutely.
So,
Me too.
so let's start with our top news story of the evening. Believe it or not, we are in day number 73 of our shelter in place. As you guys know, most of the country has opened back up. People are able to get out and do more things. There is more traffic out. I was out earlier today and there were, lines at certain places, but it was no more than 10 people in line. But
Okay.
otherwise, things are coming back. I was in one of the grocery stores today and they had a pack of toilet paper that, honey, I couldn't read nothing that was on it. It was all written in Spanish. I mean, I knew what it was saying, but I said, we now are using toilet paper from Mexico. I said,
Because
wow, right.
we
And it was 99 cents for 4 rolls of it, but it was cute. It was quilted. It had a little
okay.
pattern and all of that. And I was like, oh wow. So, have you had trouble to kind of finding anything in stores since this pandemic has I know. That's the hilarious piece.
So the only thing, okay, so because I am a chef, because I'm in the grocery stores a lot,
Uh-huh.
I've stopped it to 1 day a week, right? I go shopping for supplies 1 day a week, right?
Okay.
So Booker T, I saw that, and I'll address that for you.
What?
Um, so he
He
said I'm looking healthy, and what am I doing different?
he's talking about me, darling.
Oh,
It says you are looking
oh,
healthy,
I think
Chad.
so. Yes, 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 yes,
Baby,
yes, yes.
this ain't always about you, boo. Okay,
Well,
continue.
you know.
I love you. I love you. This gonna be nothing but a hen party tonight. This is hilarious. All right, so continue on. So you and I both have that in common. I do
Yeah,
the once a week. Now I'm up to twice a week shopping, but the
yeah.
once a week get out shopping. So finish your story.
So
All right.
so the only thing throughout this entire 73 days, and this literally was within the first 10 days, for me, that was a major I have to have it. Believe it or not, it was some alcohol. I needed rubbing alcohol because I needed to sanitize some things. And when I tell you, I
Right.
literally normally go to Sally's and I'll buy a gallon for $15. You know what I'm saying? And it'll last me for a very
I
long
didn't
time.
think about that. I didn't think about that. Okay, go ahead. Yes.
That's where I used to go, and I would just buy all of my things. I buy in bulk. I just buy a gallon of this, that. And so Sally said, "Oh, we don't have any in sight." So instead of me going to 5 different Sally's, I kept calling, and no one had it. Lo and
Wow.
behold, there was one store near me that had it. It was a beauty supply store. Do you know? I said, "Hey, y'all got alcohol?" She said, "We got 2 gallons left." I said, "Please put one to the side. I'm en route. I'm on my way." When I got there, I gave my name. The nice little lady just put the gallon on the table. And when she rang it up, she said, $40.32. I said, "What happened?" Oh, okay, here my $40. You know what I mean? It's like that's treasured, precious jewels. Ain't nobody using it
Right.
but me.
Right. So now here's the deal.
Mhm,
Rubbing alcohol has
mhm.
not been available in stores and I don't know when. And
Right.
I am the gentleman who any store I go in, I'm looking around for the rubbing alcohol. I'm asking the
Mhm.
stock person. So Claire Hubbard, who was our guest co-host last
Yes, you
night,
did.
she
Uh-huh.
She did an excellent job. Claire was saying, and I know this to be true, people who are diabetic in our elderly community, they are getting up at the crack of dawn, going
Yes.
to those early shopping hours, and they're getting all the alcohol. Because no, we're not talking about drinking alcohol. We talking about just regular rubbing alcohol. Because I
Mhm.
agree, I love rubbing alcohol way before this even happened, and
Me too.
now you have a hard time getting that rubbing alcohol. Yeah, isn't that amazing?
That's been about the only thing that I've had issues getting. Everything else has been okay. It's
Hmm.
actually been doable. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I think the thing that's working my nerves and grinding my gears is if I don't get to the store at a certain time, I'm standing in a line outside. Sometimes I got 3 items. Y'all can move. I got three. Uno, dos, tres. You
I
know,
know, I know. And here's the deal: the social distancing is a huge thing now.
yeah,
A lot of you all are not paying attention to the fact that they have markings on the floor that says you can only walk down the aisle one way. You're really not even supposed to take a lot of items off the shelf. And then
right.
some stores have limits even on canned goods that you can
Yeah.
buy. I found
So
hand sanitizer today, but you
what?
better believe. I found many little the pocket size because I love those. This time of year, it's in my
Right.
pocket, can rinse my hands, that type of thing.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
you can only buy one of those. You can only buy one of those today.
Interesting. What
Right.
I'm
Right.
what I'm noticing, because I don't just shop at in our communities, I shop other places too, and I have to do the variety just to kind of see the price points. If you know.
Right.
So
Right.
what I've learned is in our community, we're standing outside in a line to get into the store, and then once we get in, there is no real social
Right.
distance. It's just all us in there. Now,
Right. Right.
in other communities, I don't have to stand in a line. I don't have to be there at a certain time, and they don't even monitor any of that. But you are absolutely right about what you can get off the shelves because last week I took 25 heads of romaine from two different stores and they were looking at me like,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
can't have all of that. I'm like, yeah, but you don't
Right.
want it, so I'm leaving.
Right.
So
Right.
it's just the differences of where you're shopping, what you can find, and people that are following these rules or not following them.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Well, very good. Let's continue on with our top news story. I want to give you guys the latest COVID-19 update. The United States death toll from coronavirus has now surpassed 100,000 people. And that was as of today, Wednesday. And this tally was done by John Hopkins University. Uh, New for the state of Illinois, our new numbers as we look at it is 1,101 new, no, 1,111 new
Mhm.
cases of COVID. Let me go back and open up my script. It went down as I was giving those numbers. 160 additional deaths. I'm very disheartened hearing that number for the simple reason is that we had a really low number yesterday. The weekend numbers had not accelerated. I said on the show last night that I hope
Mm,
that our numbers were decreasing so that we could level out. Statewide known case count is 114,306 total cases
Jesus
since the
Christ.
pandemic has started. And then statewide, our death toll is now at 5,083 people. And again, our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families and
All of
loved
them.
ones of the
All of
people who have
them.
passed away from it, and then we are praying for the people who are in the hospital. So, isn't this something? Who knew a pandemic? Everybody was so excited about 2020. It's gonna be our year. We're gonna do everything to kind of. This is a mess, you know.
Listen, let me say this to add. Not only do I send prayers and condolences, but I ask God to give you peace of mind.
Yes, yes.
Because for me, I am also a worship leader, and I am very sensitive to what happens in between our ears because we can hear and see and read and sense everything around us, but none of that matters in the middle of the night because the only thing you hear is what's in between your ears. So I
Mhm.
also pray for those that have lost loved ones, of those that are suffering. I have several friends that have survived COVID that are
Mhm.
struggling with lung issues that they've never had
Mhm.
before, that have never smoked a day in their lives. I prayed for peace of mind.
Mhm.
Because
Mhm.
this is we all wanted 2020. Today, I posted earlier. Today would have been the senior graduation for the class of 2020 for the school I formerly worked with, and my students are, of course, hurt because they can't walk the stage today. This
No,
is the
no.
day. You know what I mean? And so
Mhm.
to be dealing with that amongst other foolishness that we're dealing with in our world,
Mhm.
it is really difficult. And I extend my heart to them because it's so hard to manage emotions right now.
Hmm. Yes, absolutely. It is. It's a lot to take in. And
Mhm,
I tell people we are at a point in our lives. Everybody who I know, I'm sure
mhm,
people who faithfully watch this show and understand the principles in which I'm speaking from. This is a
mhm.
time, this is a time that we must pivot. This is a time that we must continue to find new ways to reinvent and grow.
Yeah,
And we also have to look at this as I've been saying time and time again. This is a time that those that were last will now be first. And I know people are sick of me saying that, but I
it's
really
the
do believe
truth.
that. I really
It's
do
the
believe that.
truth.
We
Yeah,
we are
it's the
now
truth.
we're sitting on a new paradigm right now.
Mhm.
And this new paradigm has no place in today's society, whether you're black or white, to not want to be fair, honest, and do the right thing.
Absolutely. I
Hmm.
totally agree.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Hmm. So just my take on that. All right.
Mhm.
So to kind of let's move on. I want to send thoughts and prayers out to the family of playwright, author, and outspoken AIDS activist Larry Kramer. He died today at the age of 84, and I would be in
Mhm.
tremendous trouble if I did not recognize
Absolutely.
and acknowledge him. Larry
Mhm.
was actually one of the first people who raised the flag about the HIV and AIDS pandemic that
Yeah.
happened. Keep in mind that AIDS was a pandemic as well,
Sure
and
was.
it ravaged the gay and black community. And
Mhm.
we are just days away from Pride. June starts Pride Month, and so
Mhm.
I did want to acknowledge Larry's passing. Really a great man, and was a true advocate of the gay community. All right.
Absolutely.
Also, in entertainment news, Takana, are you an amusement park person? Do you like roller coasters and all that? Do you? See, I'm learning so much about you, and we've been friends forever. And
I
then you did,
love it.
and you did that like a little kid. You did that like a little kid. So you love amusement parks?
I love amusement park. At 46, if you tell me we're going to amusement park, I cannot sleep the night before. I
You
already
said
got my
this.
lunch packed up. I got a
Oh my
good pack.
God.
I got my
Oh my
new goose
God.
box
Oh no.
because
And
I
see,
love it. I love it. Now,
no.
it doesn't love me because then, we 46. So Vertigo say, hey, get off that ride. You know better. Right. But I still love it. I love and it's, you know what it is? It's not even about the rides. For me, it's the energy. It's all
Really?
about energy. So I love it.
See, and I feel so bad. I've always been the person like, look, I'll hold all y'all purses and phones. Go get on the ride. I'm the person that
Yes.
I'll pay the whatever it is to get in, and I'll be
Mhm.
like, well, listen, I'm over at Daffy Duck's bar. I'm over here getting drunk with the duck. I'm
I'll see
not,
y'all when y'all get
yeah.
back. Right.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love
I'm
the
not the
energy.
That's so funny. I'm not the amusement park person. Now you
But
take
you
me.
know what? I'm so scary. So, like, even though I love the excitement of it all, I'm terrified. So I am the one that can't sleep the night before. But when we
Oh
get there,
God.
I'm like, uh, you sure? How far I go? I'm that, but I'm gonna get on it. I'm just gonna be
Right.
nervous.
Nah, honey, I'm the one talking about give me your purse, girl. I'll be sitting right here. I gone. Enjoy yourself. Oh, by the way, give me your weave and that wig because it's gonna come off on that ride. Right. So I'm that person. I don't So that's
Let
so
me
funny.
note that. That's good to know for when I go again.
Oh, absolutely. Right, right. Most people like, we just buying you a ticket for the hell of it. I'm like, okay, I'll go. All right. So listen. So today, Great America here in Illinois announced that they will be opening back up. They didn't give an exact date of when they'll be opening back up. Also, Disney World today announced that they will be opening back up in July. Girl, I like the look on your face. We'll talk. Just hold tight. We're gonna talk about this in a minute. So, Six Flags Great America, located in Gurnee, Illinois, is really our major amusement park. It is our largest here in the state of Illinois.
Right.
It generates $500 million of revenue every summer season. Did you know that, child?
Wow.
A half
That's
a
a
billion
lot.
dollars. Well,
That's a
to
lot of howling.
honey, that's a lot of hollering, a lot of hot dogs, a lot of stale ass popcorn, a lot of all of
Wow.
that. Right. So here's the deal.
Mhm.
Great America announced today that you will now have to book a reservation to be able to come. They will only have so many people in the park at a time. You will know what time it is. Most of these places now are doing like you and your family will ride the roller coaster at 3 o'clock. Please be over here 15 minutes before 3. Oh, absolutely. No more ticket giving. It'll all be electronic. It'll all be, different than what you thought it would be in the past. Girl, I know you getting ready to comment. Baby, I know you getting ready to comment. Okay, yes, boo. Right.
Pick me, pick
Yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Go
So,
on, go on, go on. Yes.
so I don't have to worry about getting in that fast paced line. You know how you used to buy those tickets so you can get ahead of the line? I
No,
don't have to do
baby.
that
No, no. Because
anymore.
here's the deal. It is not gonna be like that.
Right.
It's gonna be you, me, and whoever going that day. I think it can be no more than a party of six. I mean, it's a lot of new rules now that will apply to amusement parks. Like I'm sure food will probably be sealed in packages,
Yeah,
not
absolutely.
touched, handled, all of that. And so
Wow.
here's my question to you: how quick would you be willing to go back to an amusement park? Is what I'm thinking. You know what I'm saying?
So I'm not going.
Not at all. Is that it?
No,
You
not
not
at
you
all.
not at all.
I'm
Right.
not I'm not dealing with it because here's the deal. I don't care how they try to um market it and say, "Oh, you have an appointment. You have an appointment to holler at 7:45. Be here at
Right.
7:30. You're gonna holler from 7:45 to 8:05. We
That's
got
what
you.
I said.
Who's
Right.
gonna sanitize? Who's gonna clean things down? Who's gonna be there to do all of that? What if somebody in my
Well,
party gets sick and they
right. Well, here's the deal. They
Mhm.
said that every other car on the ride will be empty. They will be cleaning and sanitizing between passengers. Now, I'm just going to say this today. I was at another grocery store today, and they had a sister girl standing outside sanitizing the carts.
Okay.
And so, she was sanitizing them. But when we got in the store, I kind of made a comment. I said, "Ooh, she about as excited about cleaning that cart and doing a good job of cleaning that cart as probably childbirth." And three people turned to me and said, "I thought the same thing too about her." So I'm wondering how clean will they be? How thorough will they be with their cleaning? Because see,
So
I'm the dude that's wiping. I'm the dude that you
Mhm.
understand me. Yeah. So I don't know.
So my only question is because Great America and those types of places employ youth. They don't employ Papa. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because Papa
Right.
Heart can't handle that. The pacemaker can't handle them rides. Sorry,
Right,
Papa. I
right,
love you, Papa,
right,
but it's true.
right,
So
right.
they got the teenagers that the teenagers that I teach. They hired them to wipe down. I won't be back. I won't be back. I won't be back. No more.
See, see,
No
see,
more.
see. I
No
mean,
more.
it begs a question of really how
Yeah.
many people. I'm sure people with small children would
Yeah.
probably go earlier in the day. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure teenagers would probably want to go because we've got to keep in mind that people do want to be entertained and are able to do something.
Absolutely,
Um,
I agree.
I don't know. I'm just so nervous and worried.
Mm.
I noticed our first lady, Melania Trump. They showed a picture today of
Who
her.
who is
Well,
that?
I know, I know. Look, I know they right. She had a mask on though in the helicopter. She had a
Her
mask.
husband. Because her
Yeah.
husband got corona.
No, girl, he too busy taking propofol or whatever, right? Or whatever it is. He taking medicine for lupus or and no disrespect to
Cortisone or
lupus,
whatever.
but girl, whatever he taking.
I drop medication. I got you.
Okay, all right, all right. So, boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, look, Booker T said the NBA is talking about resuming the season July at Disneyland in Florida. That's Disney World in Florida. But yeah,
Wow.
absolutely. Yes.
Wow.
Well, I don't know. All right. Well, Takana, boy, we done talked so much. We still got to talk about the hottest story of the day.
Please.
The
Yeah.
last 24 hours have been very impactful in many different ways. And we're speaking about, let me do this real quick. For those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, our Chat Daddy Sims. This show comes live to you Monday through Thursday night from 7 to 8:30 p.m. You can watch it on various Facebook platforms. I said it too fast.
Yeah, you're
Uh,
good. You're good.
the real Chat Daddy Show is the number one place you can view the show. Please go there, like the page, encourage other people to like the page. You can start a watch party from that page. All you have to do is hit the share button, start a watch party, encourage other people to tune into the show. We're based out of Chicago, but we talk about a lot of different things that people are facing globally, and we really do appreciate you guys. You can also go over to Art Chat Daddy Sims. That is my fan page on Facebook. Please like that page. You can share tonight's show from there. And we're on YouTube. Yes, we are. The Real Chat Daddy Show is on YouTube. You guys, please go and watch the show live, or you can always go back for encore performances of the show right there on YouTube. And then my website is therealchatdaddy.com. This fabulous babe sitting next to me is Takana Young. She is Anna. Honey, she is many things, but she is my friend, y'all. She really is my friend, and I love her. And so, Chef, are you enjoying yourself so far?
I absolutely am. I always enjoy myself with you. You're amazing.
I love you. I'm trying to get to all these comments that everybody is putting up here, honey. You a hoot. They loving you. Takana, minister, educator, you are just a mess. Somebody wants to know. Booker T said, "What are you drinking, Takana? Are you drinking, Takana? What's in your chalice, baby?
What's in your cup? What's in your cup? So I
What's in your cup? What's in your cup, baby? What's
have a
in your
little
cup?"
tequila. I have a little
Uh,
tequila and a
well, of
little.
course, your name is Takana, so you should have a little
You
tequila.
already know, you
Right,
know. So I
right,
have a
right.
little tequila and I have a little blueberry lemonade, little mixture,
Mm.
and a
Oh,
side of my bold ginger ale just for kicks, you know.
yes, yes. That bold ginger ale is
Woo,
amazing. It really is.
yeah,
All right. So now let's get to the number one story before, because we actually have run out of time, but we've got to get to this
we have
story.
to.
Uh,
Absolutely.
George Floyd's death has sparked for justice after a night of outrage in Minneapolis following the brutal arrest video of an unarmed, handcuffed black man that ended in his death. And we're very familiar with this scenario. I'm sick and tired of this happening. As a black man, I've experienced things that just have never should have happened, but you just kind of brush it off. You just say it is what it is, and you continue to kind of move forward. Well, as you guys all know, four Minneapolis police officers were fired. They're now asking that the cop who was in the video
Mhm.
be arrested, as well as his cohorts as well too. Let me give you guys a
Wow.
little information. We okay? Let me give you
Wow.
guys. Oh, okay. Let me give you guys a little information about George Floyd. He's a former truck driver and security guard. He's from the third ward of Houston, Texas, one of my favorite cities, and I've been to the third ward. He
Mine
pled,
too.
He played football for Yates High School back in the 90s. He actually was in Minneapolis for work when somebody suspected that he was passing bad money or a check, or I think it was bad money. And this is
Huh.
how it all jumped off. And the feedback that I've seen on social media, the protesting, has all been beautiful. But Takana, we've been here before. We've been in this circumstance. We've been in this situation. And this, enough of the praying, enough of the come on. No, we got to get off our ass and do something.
You heard me. So for me, you are absolutely right. We have moaned and belly ached, and we shall overcome in kumbaya. Said it. Got a prayer, got a bag with it written on it. This has been polarizing. This has been very hurtful. The man in my home has been extremely angry and up in arms about
Mhm.
everything. And when I say if he clean this gun one more time in this house, I can't, and I understand it, but it is unnerving. It is unnerving, and I'm in a predicament where I see what's happening. There are no words for the privilege that has been bestowed upon some and not others. Um,
Mhm.
it is disgusting. And so I have family in Minnesota. When I saw it yesterday and then I saw the protests, I was a nervous wreck and wanted to jump in my car and hit the road for 5 hours. And I reached out to family. Hey, are you guys out there? Are you at the station? Where is my little cousin? What is going on? And, thank God everyone was safe. But I literally took to Facebook because for me, I have questions. And unlike a lot of saints and ain'ts, I ain't scared to ask them. To those
Mhm.
people that's got the position and those places and seats of authority that can make
Mhm.
moves and stuff. And I want to know what you doing, why, what should we say? Because I'm dealing with children, teenagers, 18, 19-year-old young black kings that have no fathers, that are trying to understand why they should be at peace when the world and the heart of America is against them. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
it has been the past 24 hours have been a lot. I mean, this really not even 24, 48, because this a lot of this stuff that began started all over again on the holiday. And we now are at Wednesday and we're trying to deal with the aftermath and the ashes of this craziness. And it's hard. It's hard.
Well, I know, Takana, it really is. It's heart wrenching, but I'm sick and tired of us saying it's hard. It's heart wrenching.
Yeah.
God is going to help us. It's got to change. Here's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to be brutally honest and blunt, and
Mhm.
I hope I don't lose friends and followers or any
Why?
of that.
Why
But
you worried about that?
girl,
Don't worry about that.
right, because again, pivoting, new direction, new purpose in life. I need for black men to get up off your asses and let's make a difference. Black men, I'm sorry, and I know that might not sound right coming from a black man, but we've got to do better, brothers. We've got to stand up. We've got to take control again. We've got to make people respect us. They don't respect us because we don't respect ourselves. And I know people gonna be like, no, this ninja didn't just say that. Yeah, this ninja said it, and this ninja
So,
means it. And the thing is that we've got to change the dynamics of how we are perceived. We've been put out of our homes, we've been put out of the workplace, we've been told that we are less than, that we're discounted. I look at all the opportunities and chances I had, not one mentor the entire time, not one person higher than me said, brother, let me groom you, help you, take you to a new direction. But when you fall from grace, oh, all of a sudden people are benevolent. Interesting.
So let me say, let me before you take it back, let me add a little bit more to it. Um, I am 100% in agreement. I cannot continue to hear the "We shall overcome" kumbaya. I just
Right,
can't. I mean, it's
right.
cute. It sounds amazing, but as I've been saying all week, that is something that the position a lot for the church, right? Well, we ain't in the building no more. The church is out the building. So now since we
Mm-hmm,
outside, what else gonna do? You know.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
for me, I really want to see more action because I am, I believe in Martin Luther King's heart, but I got a Malcolm X. trigger, if that
Right.
makes sense to you. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
I am of the adage that it's got to be something worth killing us for. We got to be a dynamic, amazing people. If this many folk find us as PREY, as prey. So I no longer want to just keep at the PRAY because I know what it will do. It changes things. However, while I'm PRAY, I need somebody to understand that we have been PREY so that they can get up and put some action to it. Because one of the things that I used to love coming up, my father was a very vocal activist. And I really want to say almost into the Black Power, and Black Panthers. And where they at? I'm
Mm-hmm.
serious. Where they at? Because
Mm-hmm.
anytime we live in a world where a privileged individual and hey friends can have a
Mm-hmm.
tiki party, or they can go and they can be fully armed and walk amongst the world in the community with their guns ablazing, and none of them are killed. But if we, in fact, as African Americans, do the exact same thing, we are vigilantes. Those people are crazy, they're horrible, and they want to kill us. I need to understand the balance because our Second Amendment rights, we ain't really got them. The Constitution is cute, but it don't apply to us.
What is it, boo? It's cute,
It's
but it
cute,
don't apply. But it
but it
don't
don't
apply
apply.
to us.
It
I
don't apply.
agree. I agree. I agree. Yes.
Yeah.
Hmm. Yep, that is true. You're absolutely right. Well, as this story unfolds, I'm sure we will be talking more about this as the evening and days come along. To kind of, I really do want to shift gears just a little bit, if I could.
Yeah.
Before our 8 o'clock guest joins us, I want to talk about our next topic and subject, which is relationships, and we'll go into that in just a minute. I want to tell everybody, make sure this coming Friday evening, I'm doing a very special Chat Daddy show. I am. You guys need to be a part of the show. It's from 7 to 8:30 p.m. You guys are going to really love it. It's a wonderful event. It's this Friday, May 29th, and it's entitled Be Counted for Unity. And we're celebrating love, happiness, diversity, and union among people. And it's going to be a love fest. And so from 7 to 8:30 p.m.
Okay.
this coming Friday, I have a couple of very special guests, but I really do have an amazing guest who's going to join us on the show. And then this coming Monday, if you guys are following me on Instagram, which you should be at Chat Daddy One on Instagram, I'm kicking off a new series entitled Soul Food: What Feeds Your Soul? And I'll be sitting down for one-on-one interviews with people about soul food, but I'll also be talking to them about what really feeds their soul. Who
I
are
love
they?
it.
Where are they from? How did they become who they are today? And so join me on Instagram. Follow me at Chat Daddy One on Instagram. That's Chat Daddy One on Instagram. And join me Monday at 12 noon. Sometimes I might be in the car doing these conversations. Sometimes I might be in the grocery store doing these conversations. But I'll be interviewing people on Instagram 12 to 12:30
I love
starting
it.
Monday. Yes, darling. All
I
right. So
love it.
Takana,
Yeah.
relationship drama, circumstances, and situations. Help me out with this. I've been going through it all.
Whoo, child. So, 73 days, right? We had day 73 of this quarantine.
Hmm.
And I know that there have been a lot of occurrences for some that were married on shaky grounds, uh, not married and living together. They was trying to figure it if this is really where I wants to be.
Right.
And and then you got the side chick that ain't been serviced in 73 days.
73, 73, and let me speak on be well, no, not on behalf, but let me say what the let me tell y'all what the side piece has been saying. That if you've not seen that person in 73 days, then you
Mm.
are officially really a side piece. Now, if you were a side piece and you have seen your person within them 73 days, then chances are that you a high level side piece. But if you've not seen your person in 73 days, if you've not
Really?
heard from your person in 73 days, then guess
Chances
what?
are.
Guess what?
Chances are.
Yeah, and then you should lay that side piece burden down. Just lay it on that.
Exactly.
Lay it down by the riverside.
Leave
Yeah,
it at the altar, okay? So,
lay it down
I
by the
mean,
riverside. Yes,
this has been great. So for me, me and my fiance have been. It's been really good. He tours. He's a musician. He
yes,
tours
he
for a
is.
living and has not been able to do any touring. So God blessed me to be a homeowner. I purchased a home in December, and so
Yay!
we are learning our home and stuck for 73 days. He
I
ain't
know.
He ain't been on the road. Jesus help a sister. So it's been great because that's my best friend. We've been best friends since 2003. So it's really been cool because we've actually had a time to kind of sit down and like staycation it all because our schedules have been so crazy for the past 6 years that we've been dating that it's been hard to just say, can we just plan something? And you know what I mean? So it's been really, really good. We have different areas of the room of the house that we kind of go to when I don't want to be bothered. And when he's, needing an outlet of music, he'll go in the basement and bang out and do some music. And I'll hit the drums and the keyboard. And I'm way upstairs somewhere looking at Netflix and I'm happy. So
Good,
it's been
good,
really, really good. But I
good.
got some single girlfriends, chat. I'm
All the
nervous.
single ladies, all the single ladies, all the
Listen,
single ladies,
I'm
all the single
nervous.
ladies.
Because some of my wonderful, lovely girlfriends are like, girl, I don't know what's gonna happen when they say we can get out. I said, well, I'm gonna let y'all go out first because y'all got some stuff y'all gotta do, and I don't want to be in the streets. It's
Right.
gonna be a problem, you know. So
Let me ask you this: how quick do you think people will get back to romantic, situations? I mean, it's already a huge problem that most black women don't have a man.
yeah, yeah,
Most people are hard of don't want to commit.
yeah.
Afraid of commitment, or why should I commit? Do you think booty calls will come back into fashion again? But hey, look, honey, I want to test you from the rudder to the tutor. I want to know if you COVID free, STD free, VD free. I want to know
Right.
all of that. You know what I'm
All
saying?
that.
So,
I really,
yeah.
really think that people are going to be a little hesitant. I think it may be an age type of thing. You know what I'm saying? I
Mhm,
think based on their age is how they're going to think about qualifying their partner, getting back
mhm,
out there. But I honestly think it's going to be some folks say, look, you got your mask. I got mine. Let's go. You
mhm,
know what I mean? I think,
mhm.
unfortunately, you're
Right.
going to have people that are going to risk it all because they
Mhm,
went through 73 days without. And so, I hopefully people will be a little more um, even more so than before, cautious and careful because there's so much at stake. There's always been so much at stake, but even now, this is even more something closer to us that is relevant that I think they need to be guarded with and guarded.
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Very good. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the thing is that with the weather getting warmer,
Oh, yeah.
I've had a couple of phone calls. I've had a couple of people that said, chat, can we kind of hang out? Well, they don't call me chat. They call me, And so
Yeah.
I was like, well, yeah. I said, but you have to realize there are precautions that I'm gonna take when you coming over to my crib. First of
Yep.
all, you're not gonna be able to spend the whole night. I don't. You go just come over. Let's have a little fun. Take your ass home.
Right.
Carry your germs and stuff to your
With
house,
you.
not
With
mine.
you.
And
Right.
and then when you come in, I'm gonna Lysol you. I'm gonna spray you down with Lysol. You gotta leave your shoes at the door.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, bring you some other.
Everything at the door.
You're right. Bring some other clothes to change into.
Right.
Right. And then I'm gonna, you sit here, I'm gonna sit here, and then eventually we'll get comfortable, but not right away am I trying to, entertain or any of that. And then I need to know what your behavior has been since we've seen each other. As far as, have you been keeping yourself in the house? Have you
Yeah.
been, socially distancing? And
Yeah.
again, did you take that COVID test, or did So that's my
So
question.
the thing is, it's been so funny to me. There's been so many people, these people that just creep back on up and want to call you.
Oh
Like I'm
yeah,
at home and I'm
yeah,
getting phone calls and I'm
yeah,
looking at my phone like, oh,
yeah,
who?
yeah, yeah. Look,
You
look.
know,
not only are the telemarketer calls back,
Come
honey,
on,
the
honey.
look, the bugaboo calls are back
Look,
too. Yeah, yeah, the bugaboo call.
it's
The
always,
yeah,
what you
yeah,
doing? How you been? I've been fine. It's been 73. It's a crazy mess. Y'all all
yeah.
right over there? Yeah.
Yeah, right, 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 right.
Hilarious.
I've been getting them phone calls as well too, and I get it. The weather,
Yeah.
but again, you gotta stay safe as
Yeah.
well as don't think you're getting ready to come over here. This ain't the pleasure principle now. So right, this trying to stay safe during COVID, baby. This
Exactly.
yeah, that's what this is, baby. So I don't know. Well, what do you think is gonna happen with most of these relationships, Takana, that have not uh, you know,
So, divorce courts are still open. And I think we're going to see we're going to see some realness. We're going to see a lot of people that have been stacking their chochos, and that $1,200 that good old pink person gave them, baby, they
baby.
took that 1,200 and put that on a down payment on a divorce. And
Yeah,
so they've been
right,
stacking their money. I think people that wanted to get married, that have been close together and throughout this, if they really, really wanted to get married, I think this time has made them understand you don't need to have 5,000 people at your wedding, eat up food, so they can sit around and talk about a dress you got on and don't none of them like you, no way. It could just be me, you, the service, the preacher, and that's it, and a witness. Okay.
right,
And
right.
so I think this is going to put into perspective for a lot of people what their real motive is, whether it be stay together or be apart.
Why Tika said they in heat, honey.
Uh-huh.
They in heat. That's what she said.
Listen, they ain't
Right.
heated all. Listen, and all the batteries is out of stock too. Did you know that?
You well, not all the batteries, but
Well, some.
I was getting ready to say I use triple A and double A for things around the house, remotes,
Well,
lighting,
the
things.
double A is gone.
Them take stronger than double A, don't they? They take C's and D's, right?
Depends, honey. I don't know now, child. It's been a minute.
Oh,
But
well, now I understand they got the kind that you can plug in with a UBS cord and
oh my
and
God, whole
right.
electrocution.
And then they got some, honey, where you can be in Chicago and your man can be in
Oh,
Cincinnati and press a button.
yeah, I saw that. That's a little more than that's too much. Sorry.
Honey, right.
No, I'm
You
not
talking
gonna be
about
up in front of my class teaching a group of kids and all of a sudden, whoo, Jesus, I can't, I
right,
can't,
right, right, right. Well,
I
now
can't explain that.
you're a savage now. You're a savage, boo. You're a
I can't
savage.
explain that one though.
Honey, you'll go from educated to ratchet. Ratchet, ratchet.
Lincoln, right? Ugh.
To
Oh, you a
ratchet.
mess. You a
Right.
mess.
Honey, you'll go from educated, classy to ratchet in
Woo,
just
quick.
girl, you got me over here crying. You are so funny tonight. You are. So what else has been a problem during COVID with relationships? God, you got me crying.
You know what? The other thing that I saw is somebody posted a meme a while back, and they were saying,
Ooh,
if you don't hear from your friends and all of these people during this time, then it kind of gives you revelation as to who was really for you and who wasn't. And the retort or the response was, listen, all us is going through the same thing. Don't
right,
judge
right,
me because you haven't heard from me.
right,
My
right,
drama and my trying to figure this out and balance my life currently is different than yours, or maybe similar. And we all need that space time opportunity, and we need love so we
right,
can understand that this is a lot. This is a lot. Listen, we got some grown-ups that have never been in the house with their children this amount of days. And they don't even know. Look, they're trying to figure out how not to commit
right.
murder and go to jail. Okay.
Right, right. Well, I did have a friend of mine. It's so funny. I tell people I have friends on so many different levels. And
Mhm.
one of my friends who never in a million years would I have thought he ever would have called me. And he would not call me, but call to say what he just said. He
Mhm.
said, Chad, he said, I need to talk to you for a minute. I said, really? He said, man, I'm losing my mind. I'm working from home. The wife is working from home. He said,
Mhm.
I realize, and they have 6 children. He said, I realized two of my kids are really bad. Like these some little badass demons. And I said, really? I said, now these are your children. He said, yeah, but I really discovered who they are during this pandemic. And I said,
Mhm.
oh my God, that is too funny. So I guess a lot of people are figuring out they got a lot of little badass kids at their house too.
I was, I'm pointing to myself because week 3 of this quarantine, I literally posted, and I was hoping every parent that had access to me. I said, so now I really wasn't lying about your kids. Now you know I was
Right,
telling the truth. You know what I'm saying? So are they cussing you out and throwing their phone across the room when you tell them to stop talking? Like what they doing when you tell them? Because now you know I wasn't lying. So
right,
it's been a
right,
lot. It's been a lot.
right, right.
We're learning a lot about who we really are outside of our titles. And that's the thing that I'm hoping people understand. This quarantine has been really good relationship wise because you're learning who are you outside of a title. My sister,
Right,
a doctor, a
right,
lawyer.
right.
You know what I'm saying? What makes you tick? What do you like? What do you have to have and what don't you need?
Mhm,
You know what
mhm.
I'm saying? And so those are to me, that's the good thing that's actually come to me out of this quarantine. I don't have to do a lot of stuff I used to do no more. I'm good. I've been social distancing. I didn't even realize I was an introvert. I didn't know.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
You
my
know?
daughter cooking, the kids eating and fighting. Right. I love it. But that's what people are learning more than anything about their families, their loved ones.
Yeah.
To kind of, I find that so interesting that you said, rediscovering things. Who knew that all I needed was an Ethernet cord and a laptop? You get what I'm saying?
Hello.
To change
Hello.
the entire circumstance dynamic around all of that. And you're
Absolutely.
right. As we said in the beginning of this show, this is now the best time ever to rediscover who you are, where you want to go, and what you want to do with your circumstance and situation. And that's one of the reasons
Absolutely.
I started this show every night, to encourage everybody. I did. I
Yes.
did. All right. For those of you all that are just joining us, welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Chat Daddy Show, the real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. My beautiful co-host tonight is my friend Chef Takana. We just love her. She does some
Mhm.
amazing food, and in just a few moments, we're going to talk about cannabis, infusing food with cannabis, as well as marketing and sales, and how cannabis is the leading economic engine right now. It really is.
Absolutely.
Right now, we're talking about relationships and how they fared during COVID-19. A lot of you all have been in the house. Well, no, I ain't gonna lie. We've been in the house for 73 days, you all. 73 days. And it's been a long time. It really has. And now that the weather's better and we want to get outside, a lot of you parents are figuring out that you got a few kids that you need to put your foot in their ass. No DCFS though, not like that. I mean, but be a better person. I was reading an article earlier today, to kind of, that was saying that only 60% of CPS students sign on for online classes every
Yeah.
day.
That's
How
true.
do you think they're gonna learn? I said it was gonna be a lot of children left behind because of this pandemic.
So here's the thing, as a teacher, let me say this. When they first said to us that we have to do virtual classes, they threw us into something that we had no we had no knowledge of how to do. We didn't have any skill set on what that was going to look like. Okay. And then fine, teachers figured it out. We're creative, we'll figure it out, we'll work it out. That's the gift and the calling of a teacher. The next thing is we have a lot of our children, especially in a lot of our Title I schools, they don't have Wi-Fi at home. So then they gave us this brilliant, oh, we're going to give all of these kids this wonderful tablet. What they going to do with it? Sit there and look at it? Because they can't use it. So yes, 60% of kids are not logging on. It's not because they don't want to. A lot of them don't have the means to. In fact, I'll tell you this. This is something we didn't even talk about. One of my old students, a senior that needs to graduate and needs a few classes to avoid having to repeat or extend his graduation, push it forward till next school year. I literally said, you know what, I'm going to volunteer. I'm going to go and get a tablet. You can come to my house because I got Wi-Fi and you can sit here and do your classes and get the work done, because at his home, they only have a hotspot if a certain person is there with their cell phone. So yes, a lot of these kids, yep, yep. So we got kids that it's not that they don't want to do their work. Let me say that. It's not that they don't want to. They don't have the means. They don't have Wi-Fi. They have no ability to do it. And then those other ones that got the ability, they got Wi-Fi, some of them just don't care, because they also have been privy to the information that Pritzker gave out, and that's on ISB, that whatever your grade was in March when you left school, they cannot introduce any new information to you. Whatever your grade
Mm-hmm.
was, that's what your grade is.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to end the
Mm-hmm.
school year with that grade. So they can't take your grade down. They have to keep it at
Mm-hmm.
that. And so that's been the other challenge. A lot of kids feel like, well, what do I even need to log on for if it's not going to impact me negatively?
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know?
It's sad though because we really do want our young people to stay on top of things.
Yeah.
Being a former flight attendant and traveling the world, I am just in awe when I am in other places and I look at what the young people know. I
Yeah.
was in a coffee shop in Dubai, and there were
Mm,
teenagers sitting next to me at a table, and they were talking about stock options and their
mm,
portfolios and in our American, and I don't care black, white, brown, whatever, our American students are not sitting around talking about stock options
no,
and their portfolios. They're not
no.
doing this.
That's
Right.
because teaching children about things that actually matter, and I know that I'm going to probably piss off some teachers, and I'm going to say I meant it when I said what I said when I said what I said when I said it. Um,
Honey, did you say it?
I
Did you
said
say it?
what I'm
You
going to say
said it.
is, if we could change our curriculum, I don't agree with, yes, you need to learn some basics of algebra and geometry. Yes, you do. But I'm 46 years old. I can't tell you when I've used geometry. I don't use it. I don't use algorithms. I don't use the theorems. I don't use that. And if we could start incorporating and infusing into these classes some of the things that actually the kids need, the stock market information. At this age of my life, I'm learning the stock market now all over again and trying to understand it. And I think if we were given that information and that knowledge when we were children in school and it became something we just understood as regular information, we would be so much further along. We would be so
Mm-hmm.
much further advanced as a whole, you know?
I agree with you 100%. I just would hate for American children to get back, to be in a situation where they are missing out. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's the sad part about all of this. It really is.
absolutely.
So yeah, all right. Well, we want everybody to continue to do what you can to continue your education, continue to keep studying. Parents, do what you can to keep your children engaged.
Absolutely.
A
Yeah.
lot of a lot of parents, Takana, are now thinking about homeschooling as a result of this pandemic, and I find
Mhm.
that to be very fascinating as well too. I think if I had my choice or my druthers, I probably would have wanted to be homeschooled or either put in an environment different than the standard environment that I was put in. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that, but I would tell you, I'm half and half. Only reason is because I've met some children that have been homeschooled. They have no socialization skills. They don't know how to interact with people. And then I have kids that are in regular schools that don't know how to be mannerable, because they haven't been in those different situations where they had to learn that. So there's good and bad on both ends. I would just hope that those parents that are seeking or looking for homeschooling as an option, permanent option for their children, they also do it half a day where they can still have some type of programs that their children are involved in to get the social interaction to learn how not to become the next serial killer, because you can't
Hmm.
sit at home all day and you don't have any
Hmm.
interaction, because then that's what happens. You don't know how to deal with people. And I mean, we got to deal with people because, yeah, we've been quarantined, but this is not prayerfully going to be the rest of our lives and existence. We're not
Hmm.
always just be
Hmm.
at home, you know?
Yeah. All right. Well, very good. I love it. Again, we want to encourage everybody to continue with your education. You're never too old to
Never.
learn. Who knew that I'd be taking two new things? But I'm enjoying them. I plan on taking a couple of other courses while I have this time at my disposal. Also, I want to say congratulations to the class of 2020. You guys did it during a very trying time in our life, but you guys really did do it. And
Absolutely.
we are very proud of you guys in so many different ways. Takana, you want to say anything about the class of 2020? I'm going to mention who our next guest is in a little bit. I mean, tomorrow night's show. By the way, Takana, our next guest is not on the line yet with us.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I want to say for my class of 2020. You guys know Dean Young loves you. I always call you my double vision, double eagle scholars. You are what the world is anticipating and need and are waiting for. What you got, I ain't got. I need what you got to help me to get where I need to go. So stay focused, stay on target, stay on track, stay on task, stay motivated and moved by your own fruition. Because I love you and ain't nothing you can do about it. Hey.
Yay! Oh,
Hey.
congratulations. Congratulations to Watika. She got 4 graduates this year. Oh, that's very good. Excellent, excellent, excellent. All right. Well, for those of you all that are just tuning in, a lot of you all have been here with us for a while. I am Chat Daddy. Welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. I'm broadcasting live from the green room, my studio. My wonderful co-host is the amazing Chef Takana. She's fabulous, wonderful, all of that. We've been talking about so many different things this evening that has just been absolutely incredible. And I'm thankful for to kind of helping me get through the Wednesday night show. Just want to remind you guys, please go over to YouTube. Please like the Real Chat Daddy Show on YouTube. Please subscribe to the page. If you subscribe to the page, it will help this show to grow. I really appreciate you guys. The show is live on YouTube as well as you can always see encore performances there. Also, go to the Facebook page of this show, The Real Chat Daddy Show. Yep. Go to The Real Chat Daddy Show, like the page, start a watch party, do whatever's necessary. You can also go to my fan page at Art Chat Daddy Sims. Everything is there as well, too. Takana, we're going to let you plug everything before the show is over tonight because we know you got a lot to plug.
Yes. You want me to
Yeah.
go? Look, you want me to go now? You want me to go now? You want me to go
No,
now?
no, no. Well, yeah, you can go now, but we're gonna want you to give it later on in the show as well, too. We do want you to go now. Tell everybody all your fabulousness, all your deliciousness. Tell them how they can do all of
No. So listen, real quick before our next guest comes on, I host every Saturday, Sides on a Saturday with Takana's Kitchen, live on Facebook and Instagram. The business page, how you find me is Takana's Kitchen, Tacanas Kitchen, Kitchen. And that is for Facebook. If you want to follow me, Takana's Kitchen, Instagram, Takana's Kitchen. If you just forget everything that has happened tonight and you only remember the little light skinned girl with the little pink lipstick shirt, guess what? You can go to Google and hashtag in Google, you should let me feed you. And guess who you're gonna see? Hershey I me. So you can find me. Yes, honey. Yes. You should let me feed you. You can find me there. If that doesn't work and you remember what we're going to talk about in our next segment of the cannabis, and I have my own cannabis Kana's remedies. You can hashtag Kana's remedies, CANAS remedies in Google. Guess who you're gonna see? Me. So I'm
it.
here. I offer meal prep services for my clients. I offer holistic food and healing conversations and dialect and listen and stuff for your digestive system that's gonna get you straight. We can talk about that. I do consultations. I do live speaking on different meal plans that can help you get together, whether it's a keto diet that you're looking for, whether you got diabetes, have blood pressure, or you just sick of eating your own food and can't stand having to cook. I got you. So definitely check me out. My number is 872-240-COOK, and you really should let me feed you.
I like how you say that. You should
Look,
really
as
let
I
me
sip my
feed you.
tequila.
Look, you should really let me feed you. I'm so glad you got a fiance, ma'am, because you know them is tantalizing little words you using. You know what I'm
Listen,
saying? Let me feed you. I'm sure a lot of people got nervous hearing that.
listen. Whenever they say, "Oh, you should let me feed," I'm like, "You should. I sure will."
Right, right. That's why you're a girl after my own heart. You're a girl
Yes,
after my own heart.
you gotta use the gifts God gave you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, amen,
Work your
amen.
journey.
Right, because look, if I can't sell it, I'm gonna sit on it.
Hello. You heard?
You heard, you heard. Well, all right. So let's move on. Our last and final guest this evening. We're so excited to welcome him to the show. I'm gonna let Takana actually introduce him tonight. But this gentleman is the owner of I've Got the Munchies, and he
Yes, I
also
do.
is a Chicago cannabis consultant, the head man to talk to in this situation. Takana, please introduce our guest tonight.
This is my wonderful what do you call it? My guru, my Mateo. Listen, Neo. This is Berwin Tompkins. I met Berwin, I want to say maybe 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Berwin, maybe two, three
No, I've
years
been
ago.
longer than that, about 3.
About
Uh-huh.
about three. So
Uh-huh.
as I mentioned earlier in our talk, Art, I met him through him posting information about learning how to infuse your food with cannabis. And so
Mhm.
you got to tell me, listen, you only got to tell me one time. I bought that good hot cookie quick. You heard me? And I was there. And so I didn't just go get the information, put it in my pocket and learn on that. I said, you know what? I'm going to be a little creepazoid. I'm gonna stalk you a little bit because you got more information, and I am about gleaning. You know how in the Bible Naomi was gleaning. I'm about gleaning. I'm gonna stick to you because you got more. If I stick around, you might throw a little another crumb.
Right,
So
right. See, I
I
love it.
went,
I love it.
I went and I got all I can, and as my great grandmother used to say, I canned all I got. So
Yeah.
kept him in my corner, in my pocketbook. And so he and I joined up, and he does some wonderful events that are cannabis infused. I am the chef for the cannabis infused events. I love it. The networking has been amazing. He has taught me so much. Listen, he even had a class teaching me how to get certified to be a dispensary owner. And I did. So, I love people that are about pushing the envelope and motivating me. This is the person, Berwin is the person that also talked to me and taught me about the stocks because we have a whole stock collective. So he has
Right.
taught me. So
All right.
he
All
is,
right.
he
All
is
right.
semi say, sim say. So Berwin, how are you?
I'm good, Takana. How are you?
Berwin,
Fantastic.
Berwin, it is a pleasure and an honor to have you here. That's the first time somebody ever gave an introduction that was 20 minutes long. So that lets me know that you are the bombdiggity.com. It's a pleasure to have you on the show tonight. Do me a favor, tell everybody a little bit about your background and
Okay.
how you got started in cannabis, and then let's get
Okay.
this conversation going.
Okay. Okay. First of all, thank you all for having me on here. I really appreciate it. For giving me the platform to even speak and discuss this. I initially got into cannabis 5 years ago. Can you all hear me pretty good?
We can
Yes.
hear you well. Yep, we can hear you
Awesome.
great.
Okay, so I got into the business 5, 6 years ago. At the time that I got into the business, I was looking at growing a dispensary. At that time, I was only medical in Illinois. And to get in, it was like a $2 million ceiling to even be involved in the business. And also, it said that some of the application process was rigged or whatever. So I started looking at different ways to get into the cannabis business that wasn't exorbitant in price. And that's where, through examining different things, I got into the edibles. That
Mhm.
was a cheaper price point as far as getting into the business. I traveled the United States extensively, gaining information regarding cannabis prior to the legalization here. At which
Mhm.
point I ended up in Vegas during their part of when they were doing legalization. And during
Okay.
them doing the legalization, I did a lot of classes there. When I was taking those classes, though, I wasn't getting, I wasn't getting out of it what I think I should have got out of it. So me and a partner, still partners today, which is Victoria Williams. We started putting together different things and began to educate people in regards to cannabis because I wasn't seeing us at the meeting. So I
Mhm.
would go to like New York, I would go to LA, I would go to various things and see all the power players, and we weren't. So I decided to start really focusing on getting people into the actual business. And that's when Illinois offered the social equity component in the bill where they would give us access into potentially getting into the business.
Mhm.
So we went from at that point going from education to actually getting people into the business. So we did start doing events where we set it up strategically, where we went a barbershop basement. Shout out to Mo Casa Cuts and Messon. The owner there, he allowed us to come there and he allowed me to utilize that basement. And there we got with social equity applicants. So we actually put applications in their hands. We educated them about the process, consulted on many of them. So the first round of applications was actually the education portion, which we obtained 6 of the 26 licenses. 13 of them were minorities, 6 of them came through us.
Wait a second now. So there were only so many licenses available
for the education portion, right? So
for
to
the,
even
for the
get in the building,
education.
right? So 26 of them, they gave 26 people the license. 13 of them minorities. 6 of them came through our company.
Wow.
So and they came from the actual from in that barbershop actually. So these were people that it wasn't a scheme. It wasn't other things going on. These people own their own entire business. It's not another person that is partial owner with them. So what we did, we wanted to empower minorities, and we wanted to empower people to become owners, not just workers in the business. So that's what attracted me and Takana together, because she was just really motivated and thirsty for knowledge and thirsty for improving her products. She would pay for classes in advance of me even having them. She would just pay me like, hey, when you're doing this class, just text me. Here's the money. So she was so avid about obtaining the information. And again, I'm so happy when I see people like Takana flourish. And these are the type of people that I think need to be in the cannabis business, of people that are actually putting in the groundwork that, you actually seeing them flourish in front of everybody.
Berwin, here's the funniest piece. Takana and I have been friends for years. She's been on my radio show. We've hung out. Takana was the church lady that was against all of this. So for you to have gotten the church lady to sit down and learn about cannabis, dude, you got like the damn Wizard of Oz, in my opinion. Look, I'm like, wait a minute, where do I sign up? You get what I'm saying? And what I love about Berwin is he's saying empowering my people. Do you know the number of us who have gone to jail for selling marijuana, the number of people who are sitting in jail now because of marijuana, and you are trying to take us to the promised land legally? Brother, I appreciate you.
And not just legally, but with the ownership. And that's one of the things, one of the bigger issues that we're currently seeing with the dispensary application as we speak now, the greater knows now, is that you're seeing they're utilizing minorities as they're supposed to be a 51% or more owner to qualify for social equity. And a lot of these companies, you got people that are getting into the business that their intention is not to include, grow, any of that. They're just getting a payday. They know nothing about the business. And those are the people that are the problem, because right now we're in the growing stage, we're in the beginning stage, and we need people that are going to be there actually running these businesses, that want to know what's going on. You have a lot of people just take a month. They don't even know. I had a client on another thing where he's on a dispensary app, and a lawyer controls the application. The partner on it, which is a Caucasian, doesn't even speak English, but he's 40% owner of the company. So these are things that I want to make aware, and it's one of the reasons where Takana brought this to me, like, hey, we're doing a show. I definitely want to come on, because I want to bring to the light as far as, yes, we want to be in the business, but we want to be in the business as true owners. We want true ownership, where what they're supposed to do is they're supposed to incubate. So they're supposed to, if we say we were a group and we're doing cannabis, those bigger companies are supposed to incubate, educate us, bring us along in that process. But if we're not true owners, then the process is flawed. So that was one of the things where we really went into communities. The people that we got licenses, we never knew them. So it's not, this wasn't our friend. Prior to Takana coming to the class, I didn't know Takana. So we literally went into our communities and said, hey, this is the opportunity. This is what's going on. And we want to try to get you guys, we want one inclusion into the business, because by us not being at the table, We're not there for the marketing. We're not there
Mm-hmm.
for all our other auxiliary businesses. So you have them building brands,
Mm-hmm.
constructing companies, all while we're
Mm-hmm.
struggling to even figure out what part are we even playing in this business, although they're offering licenses.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you this, my friend.
Mhm.
How has well, here's we got a couple of questions that have come in.
Okay.
Um, People want to know what is the biggest trend now
Mhm.
in the cannabis business? Is it the edibles? Is it the
The edibles
marketing?
is the number one trend is edibles. Number two is packaging. Number three, I would say, would be compliance. So if you're an expert in
Okay,
compliance issues, things of that nature, that's an auxiliary business that you can start in cannabis. If you
okay.
are into marketing and packaging, that's an auxiliary business that you can start with cannabis. You don't even have to touch cannabis at all. It's an auxiliary business. But the biggest growth potential, the biggest market is the edible market. Is no question.
So now to kind of let's kind of get into this whole edible thing.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I know about the gummies. I know about but what all can I enjoy or can one enjoy with cannabis infused in it?
So anything that you can eat and or drink can be infused. I learned that from Berwin. So um, his class, once I took it, I understood how I could infuse my food. I am not a baker. I'm not a sweet eater personally at all. So for me, yes, everybody's doing. I've always been the person that goes against the grain. So everyone has brownies and cookies and cakes and gummies and suckers. Everyone has that, and there's nothing wrong with that. However, that is not a benefit for a Takana's Kitchen. Because that's not something that I typically sell. I sell pasta, I sell lasagna, I sell greens, I sell, you know what I mean? And so my clients have to still, when I do meal prep and I have clients that are needing to have their food, their meal prep infused because they have different illnesses and things that they're trying to wean off of synthetic meds. I'm able to infuse their sweet potatoes. I'm able to infuse their cabbage and their greens. I'm able to infuse their meats. And so once I learned that for me, anything that you can eat, I can infuse it.
And that
Mm,
to expound on what Takana is saying is also a different process that we utilize. We use a clean infusion process.
Mhm.
There's another method which is a plant-based product, which you'll see on the internet. You can go on Facebook and you'll see a plethora of people now selling edibles, and they're using a plant-based method. And that plant-based method, it could be insecticides, it could be chemical byproduct, all of these things within they're putting into your product. What
Mhm.
we do is a clean product. We don't use the direct plant, so we use a totally clean product. There's no way you will ever get any chlorophyll, any plant byproduct, any of that. We use 100% pure process.
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
It completely makes a difference. So for example, what I hear from my clients is they've tried other individuals that have done infused food and they're like, oh my God, I really taste a lot of the weed. I taste it and it's different. The way that things are processed through what we do is so much cleaner and you can taste it being cleaner. You have no if you eat, for example, we had an event. What month was that? Was that in March or
I was
February?
we did it March 3rd or was it March? No, March 4th.
March 4th, there was an event that I got the munchies put on. I was there doing the food and I offered an Alfredo pasta and it was infused. And I also offered a peach cobbler. My version of peach cobbler infused. And you could not taste it. You can't taste it. So one of the differences or one of the things and the reasons that I love getting or dealing with this particular way, how we process things, you don't have that. I taste it. It's heavy. I'm overwhelmed. We are really, really concerned about milligrams, how we dose things. It's like a huge, huge thing. And you'll find that a lot of people that are learning or trying to get out here willy-nilly style, they don't have any of that information or knowledge. They just going for it. And then people are getting sick. People are having all kinds of issues. And then I'm dealing with them later saying, the last time I did something like this, I ended up having this as an after effect. I'm like, listen, it's 10 milligrams, it's 15 milligrams. Like Berwin was really good about teaching how to dose everything. So you don't have that nasty aftertaste. you don't even know that you're dealing with something that has been infused because it doesn't take away from the actual flavor of what I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a
Mm-hmm.
benefit, and you getting your medication, you know.
Yeah, and you're getting your medicine. You're getting your medicine. But Berwin, I do have a question for you.
Okay.
Let's say beginner would love to go into this business. What would be the first two steps that are critical for anybody that would be interested in going into this business? First two, three steps that you think would be critical.
We'll do the three. Number one is information. Um, I would say definitely go on websites like the IDFPR. Go on websites such as ACC of Illinois. They do education, but information is key. That's the number one thing. The laws change daily. So I think today it just changed. So today
You kid.
they actually put in. No, I'm not. Today they actually put in the
What?
tiebreaker rules for the dispensary application. So let's say 20 dispensaries are tied at 265 on the points. Then they're going to actually put them into a lottery-based system instead of before they were selling as a point-based system. Now they're saying if it was tied, now they're going to put it into a lottery system. So the laws are constantly changing, literally weekly, sometimes on a daily basis, in regards to cannabis. So information would be the number one thing that I would do, and then number two would be good partnership with people and getting good information from people. It's a lot of people have good information, and just a lot of people have bad information. So
Hmm.
it's good that you want to go to different events with reputable companies. Look for companies that have a history. Look for if they just started this year or they just started 6 months ago. I wouldn't per se utilize them,
Right, right.
but you want to have somebody that has some type of background um, in this business, because if they don't have a background at this point, you can just do it yourself. At the end of the day, you might as well start step one. um,
Hmm.
and then number three would be definitely getting into going to different dispensaries. I know right now it's a little bit difficult due to the COVID-19, but I've definitely been over 100 dispensaries. But actually going into them, I've been in dispensaries in California, obviously, Colorado, Nevada. Oddly enough, I've never been into a dispensary in Illinois, but I've been in all the other states.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
So
Okay.
a lot of my research, a lot of my business that I've done, I deal directly with a lot of companies from Denver. So part of the program and part of the things we done was I actually went out to the companies myself, and I explained because in Denver there's no social equity. The people there don't feel it's a problem about minorities
Oh,
not
I did.
owning it. That's a whole nother thing. So I
Oh,
really
look,
went.
you have to come back so we can have a
Yeah, we got
conversation
to come back
about
for that
that.
one.
Yeah,
But what I did was, because
yeah.
I know it's a short amount of time, as far as procuring licenses, especially for minorities. So I would catch flights every 2 weeks going to Denver, actually go have meetings with these companies and explain it on social equity. And they were actually very excited about working with minorities, and they were excited about the program because nothing existed as far as social equity like that in Denver. Nobody never raised any hell in Denver about minorities not owning anything. So we did a lot of legwork. Like I said, it's kind of been around so long, uh, so she's been able to see a lot of these things.
Right.
But we did do a lot of contacts with companies that generally wouldn't even touch us, talk to us, or anything. So we kind of just did a lot of the journeys, a lot of the venturing, and started connecting a lot of dots and connecting people. And that's kind of like why we've been successful so fast. Not been a jealousy thing or nothing. Like to kind of call me and say, hey, it's an opportunity. Or I'll call her and say, hey, it's an opportunity. And that's more or less what we're trying to spread is let's create opportunities for as many as possible. Is everyone going to take the opportunities? I've had classes with 30 people in them and gave them same application. If 6 people would fill it out and get the business, and 20, 24 other people just looked at it. So
Hmm.
what we're doing is saying, listen, we can provide you the opportunity. We can't make you drink the water, but I'm
Right.
gonna explain it to you, put this in your hand, and put the opportunity out and if you need help getting across the line to achieve that opportunity, we're there for that too. But we definitely wanted to facilitate and definitely spread opportunity and knowledge amongst our people as far as getting into this business, and that'll improve the business as a whole. Because the more of us in the business, it's just more people, teamwork, not knowledge. Like I said, Takana's been an asset since I touched her. So it's just without the class, without us being in the business, that connection would have never happened. So it's things like that we had to learn to do business with each other, connect, provide opportunity, and everybody benefits. Everybody can succeed.
Hmm. Well, Brother Berwin, I've got to give you credit. You've been very articulate this evening, very on
Thank you.
point about this. I feel as if I now want to explore more options in the cannabis business because you really have made it seem like, listen, here's an opportunity, here's a
Mhm.
chance. Let's all get together and figure out how we can do this, make it all happen and work.
Let's make this
And I really, huh?
let's make
You
this
said what?
money. Let's make
Right.
this
Right.
money.
Yes, let's make this happen for everybody. I agree
Mhm.
100%. That is just incredible in many different ways. Berwin, how can we all continue to follow you and find you and all that good stuff?
Okay. Well, first it's not about me. So number one, for people that are trying to get into business, the first thing you need to do is you have to obtain training. That training, you can go to accofillinois.com and you can get your training done to even be in the business. It doesn't even matter what I tell you. Actually have to have the training from an IDFPR registered business, which ACC of Illinois is, and that's
Hmm.
accofillinois.com. You can take your classes online now. You'll be certified with the state to own and work. So
Hmm.
that's number one. To even be in the business, you have to have that training. To work in the
Hmm.
business, you have to have that training. So go on the website, you can get that training. After that, we have I got the munchies. We're on Instagram as I got the munchies official. We're on Facebook as I got the munchies. We're opening up a new education platform called Free Game University. .com. So we'll be actually dropping different education where we'll be showing people different infusion
Look.
methods online. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
we got some
All right.
things in the works. We've
Okay.
been telling Takana
Look.
we
Look.
got some things in the works.
Okay. Look.
But we
Count me
really just want
in.
to show, yeah, we just want to show people, listen, it's not, we have to chase this thing. We
Hmm.
can't wait for this particular business. We missed the internet boom. We missed the social media boom. This is the next boom is cannabis, and not just to
Hmm.
sell the cannabis, but how we can use it in food, how we can use it to
Hmm.
for health purposes, different ways, different methods of taking cannabis besides smoke. A lot of people popularized the smoke and made it where it's just about the smoke, but there's so many other business
Hmm.
avenues to make money. Like you need the lawyers, we got to have cannabis accountants, which is Trudy Howard. If you guys are looking for
Right.
a good part, Trudy Howard is excellent for cannabis. Um,
Hmm.
but we've been forming a team. I've been able to see so many thousands of people from teaching the classes that I've actually been able to pick through the elite people. So that's why I said me to kind of linked up. It's a few other people I've linked up with that I just saw a lot of potential and a lot of, I'm pretty good at seeing things. So when I meet certain people and you kind of gel with them very well, I just could see the potential, and I just to kind of was one of those people that I saw that, I felt like could take it to the next level, and also
Hmm.
bring up other people.
So real quick,
Yes. Well, great job. Great job. Go ahead. We got time. Go ahead.
I just want to add really quickly. One of the main reasons, Art, you said something earlier about me being the super saint, the church goer, the like, what you mean? She talking about weed. So for me, one of the main things that I also want to say to add on to what you're saying, Bern, is we need to break the stigma in our community that marijuana, cannabis is a negative. We got to
Well,
break that stigma.
that's part of what we were doing as far as the one. Okay, one of the reasons to start the class was because we started 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and no one was talking about cannabis. We talking 5 years ago here. So when we were doing classes, which Takana can attest to this, when we were doing classes for people, and when I was doing them, I did them to get minorities in there. It's a lot of footage out there. A lot of minorities didn't come. A lot of other people
Mhm.
came, so we were selling out.
Mhm.
It was packed,
Mhm.
packed, selling to the wall. But at
Mhm.
that time, because of the stigma of the negative, the negative stigma of cannabis, the people that were coming just wasn't us.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I had to alter the program. That's why we went into doing different ways to get this information to minorities to say, listen, I understand that this has been what cannabis has done to our community, um,
Mhm.
through the incarceration, rest, and
Mhm. Mhm.
labeling a drug. We know what this has devastated our communities, had a very negative
Right.
effect on our community,
Mhm.
physically as well as subconsciously. And now when it's time to profit from it, you're seeing other people just transition over and profit easily. But why are minorities who've been the biggest people that suffer from it, why are we having a problem transitioning over to the legal side of this business? But a lot of the business, as you say,
Others.
came
Yeah.
from us.
Right.
So
Mhm.
that's why I say when they're trying to even put us in the business on paper, they got somebody trying to watch us. My thing is, we don't need that 49% guy. We can
Mhm.
run our own businesses and we can get together and raise money. It's only money. It's about us having conversations with each other and saying, hey, does this person have capital like everyone else does? This person has knowledge, this person has experience. We need capital, and it's about us really working together and creating that environment. We can utilize that business to create a huge profit to fund other businesses. So that's why I've been
Mhm.
employing a lot of people to get into cannabis because it's ultimately going to fund other businesses.
Mhm. Well, you know what, Berwin? All I'm gonna say is I'm getting ready to put you in my Rolodex. Yeah, look,
Appreciate
yeah, yeah, no, no.
it.
I already have an idea for you on some other things. This is all about helping each other, and and
Yes.
and
Yeah.
really, you have been so knowledgeable this evening, brother, that quite a few people have texted me. A couple of people have said, "Great conversation," because
Mhm.
we need to be informed. Most people, this is not a seedy gutter conversation we're having. This is
No,
a conversation of empowerment. It really is.
correct.
So, Berwin, I will be having you back on the show again to talk about a
Appreciate it.
couple of other things. We'll be in touch. Absolutely, we will, because I'm curious about a few things as well too. Takana,
Okay.
you knocked it out the ballpark with this gentleman tonight. You really, really did. Oh, I love you. And look. Not only do you feed people, but you connect people. You are a conduit,
Yes, he
my
Absolutely.
brother.
does.
Yeah, she's a conduit. She is. She's a connector. Really, she is. Takana, anything you want to say to Berman real quick before we close out the show tonight?
I thank you so much, my brother, for showing up and showing out and letting them all know what it is, what's to it. Thank you, sir.
That's right.
Thank you. I
That's
appreciate you
right.
all for having me on.
All right. We
Absolutely.
appreciate you so much, brother, and we'll talk to you soon. God bless, and I'll be in touch with you soon.
Thank you. God bless you all too.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. Wow, 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 wow. Look what Booker T said, honey. Look, Booker T said,
I
I
want
want to
Tito and
smoke,
do
eat, and infuse them right now. Damn shame. Damn shame. Damn shame. Right. I
something.
want to go in. I want to go into the business. I want to go into the
You know?
business. I really
Yeah.
do. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Well,
It's
before
business.
Yes, before we close out tonight's show, boy, this show getting longer and longer. Look, Takana, I was only supposed to do an hour and 30 minutes, but that's okay. People was like, Chat Daddy, we used to you to 9 o'clock anyway. I can't go that long, y'all. No
Right.
commercials, and I'm sitting in the same spot. All right, so
Right.
listen, coming up on tomorrow night's show, you guys will meet Dr. Tony Bond. She is the bombdiggity.com. She's a scholar, an activist, and she's a women's right activist. But oh yes, but she's a theologian. She's a theologian as well too. And so we're going to talk about where has God been in this entire COVID-19
Oh, I'll be there.
situation.
I'll be
Where,
tuned in.
where has God been in this entire COVID-19? For some of us, God has been really good, but for
Come
others
on.
of
Come
us,
on.
they are wondering where has God been through all this entire
Yeah,
situation.
that's
And
good.
then tomorrow night, she and I are going to talk about the spiritual aspect of your relationships. You and I tonight talked about the circumstances, the dilemmas, and the drama. She and I are going to talk about, how you got to stay rooted in your faith and keep
Absolutely.
buying them batteries.
Listen, I don't have a pearl on, but let me find a jewel or
Right,
something.
right, right, right. Look, let me
Look,
clutch it.
let me clutch something.
Let me clutch it. Let thy clutch it.
Let
Yes,
me
amen.
clutch something.
Amen. Clutch it. Yes. All right. So listen, Boo Bear. Tell everybody how they can find you, follow you again, do your whole quick script, and we gonna get on out of here. And I'll do my promo, and then we're done.
Saturday morning, Saturday afternoons, 12 noon, sides on a Saturday with Takana's Kitchen live on Facebook or Instagram. And how you find me, Takana's Kitchen. TACANASKITCHEN. That's Instagram. That's also on Facebook, Takana's Kitchen. Connect with me. My slogan is you should let me feed you. I promise you, you should. My phone number is 872-240-COOK. 872-240-COOK. Again, Kana's Remedies, and you really should let me feed you. I'd love to.
Wait, Boo, what's the phone number again, too? Why the phone number got to be sexy, too? I just, you know what? I can't take you. Not only should I feed you, is what she said, but then her phone number got nerve enough to be in Cook, COOK.
Listen, 872-240-COOK. That's eight seven
Mm-hmm.
two 240 2665. You really should let me
Uh-huh.
feed you. I really would
All
love
right.
to. The kind of
I,
kitchen.
I'm sure you would, Boo. I'm sure we love you, Takana. You did an outstanding job tonight.
Thank
You
you
did.
so
You did
much for
a good
having
job.
me. All right. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much for always entertaining my crazy.
Oh, that's all right. That's all. I love it. That's what this show is all about. This is a reality news, entertainment, keep it real type of show, and
It's
that's what
so
we
real.
do, and that's what people love. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
At the real chat daddy.
the
Dot
real
com.
honey, the real chatdaddy.com. That's right. So we've come to the end of yet another wonderful show. We're
Wow.
now 10 minutes over our normal closeout. Every night the show gets longer and longer, but I love it. Hey, here's a couple of things I need for you guys to do. Put on your calendar Friday night. Be counted for unity. It's from 7 to 8:30 p.m. It's all about love, happiness, and acceptance. So make sure you join me. Rumor has it that a high ranking state official will be joining me Friday night as one of my many guests, a high ranking state official. That's all I'm going to say to y'all. Yes. So put that on your calendar for Friday. If you are on Instagram, please, please, please follow me on Instagram at ChatDaddy1 on Instagram. Coming up on Monday, June 1st, I'll be doing Soul Food, What Feeds Your Soul, a virtual lunch date with Chat Daddy, where I will be doing one-on-one interviews with people talking about who they are, what feeds and inspires them, and what made them the person they are today. And then what else? I'll be back tomorrow night with another great show. I'm making up for Monday night show by giving you guys a show on Friday. I do apologize for those of you all that have been watching via the Real Chat Daddy Show page. I guess we've had some technical difficulties. I told you guys I am working to make sure that this show is effortless on every platform. So I will repost tonight's show on the Real Chat Daddy Show page. So please keep supporting that page. Make sure you subscribe to me on YouTube. Takana, what is my website, darling?
TheRealChatDaddy.com.
TheRealChatDaddy.com.
Real.
Look what Booker T said to me tonight. I see you trim the goatee, chat. Look, Chat Daddy done got beautiful, baby. I couldn't take the woolly mammoth look not another day longer. It
You
had
know what
been
I'm saying?
73 days of me
Mhm.
being in the wilderness. I
You
had,
can look
look,
like
look,
Moses forever. You can't look like Moses at the burning bush forever. Okay?
right. Wait a minute. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm gonna say this and we're gonna close out the show. The person who groomed me today, and I'm not trying to get nobody in trouble, I'm not gonna mention no names, anything, said to me, Chat, so how old are you? And I said, wait, girl, I had to clutch my pearls. I had to clutch the band of rings. And I said, once you get this off of me, I guarantee you I'll look 5 years at least 6 years younger than what you. And sure enough, they was like, I get it now. I was like, yeah, and don't let me put some good makeup on. You're
Come
right,
on.
right, right. I ain't got nothing on now, but don't let me have to put that TV makeup on. Don't let me
Don't
have
let
to,
us,
right. See,
don't
if
let
I
us
put that,
be jealous.
if I put that TV makeup on,
Don't let us.
I'll look like a very mature 30-year-old.
Thank you. Thank
What
you.
you
What a
thought?
wonderful
What you
world.
thought? What you thought, boo? What you thought? I love you guys so very much. On behalf of my co-host tonight, the amazing Miss Takana Young, Chef Takana. Give everybody some kisses, boo. Oh, I love you. I do. I do. I really do. You guys stay safe. God bless
Love
you.
you
I
too.
love you guys so much. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Be well, you all. Chat Daddy,
Okay.
the real chatdaddy.com. Good night. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.
Wait. Everybody saying, oh, look what they saying. Great show tonight.
I can't see any of the
Uh,
comments. Help me. I
oh,
can't see any of the comments.
okay, so here they coming up now. Great show
Yeah.
tonight.
Thank you.
Another one said great show. We
Thank
appreciate you
you.
guys. Another one said great job.
Thank you,
Oh, they all are
Fred.
loving it. So we love you guys. We do. Make sure you follow me on YouTube, you guys. The Real Chat Daddy Show. Subscribe. I love you all. Good night. God
Good
bless.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Takana.
Bye,
Bye,
love.
baby.
Love
Bye,
you, honey.
BB.